Ika Roa by Richard Caves and Marcos Avlonitis. Episode 2.
This is Shuttle Alpha to ESS Entemidor.
This is Entemidor, receiving you, Shuttle Alpha.
We're taking off now. Captain Darrow is returning to the ship.
Confirmed. See you in orbit, Shane. Entemidor out.
Bloody hell, McFadden. How could you let me embarrass myself like that?
How could I let the legendary pioneer, Captain Marcus Darrow, get beaten up by an anemic teenage girl?
I was not beaten up. And she's at least 20.
So you were sprawled across the floor because, you were having a lie down?
I'm telling you, there's something not right about these people. That girl had abnormal upper body strength for her build. It's unnatural.
There's no need to make excuses, sir. The disorder wastes muscle tissue at a considerable rate. A man of your age...
You're absolutely sure she wasn't going to kill the Kara?
For the 100th time, the ritual was a symbolic gesture of the fact that, when her mother steps down from office, Amala will succeed to become the leader of her people.
So if she just stuck in the knife, it would have saved her the waiting, eh?
The ritual doesn't work like that.
This is an entirely new civilization, Shane. Who knows what crazy traditions they have?
Need I remind you that I'm an expert in extrasolar anthropology, with my name on several ethnographic studies of pre-light pioneer societies?
Yeah, all right, McFadden. I'm well versed in your academic achievements. Thank Christ Governor Warren set them straight is all I can say. I thought they were going to do me in.
You and me both. You know, until this morning's little incident, I would have said things were going well. Kara certainly seems to have warmed to you. I'm just hoping relations with her people can be repaired.
Yes, but it's the second wavers we really want to be dealing with, right?
True. They're industrialised, have a large trainable workforce, and your faux pas with the first people shouldn't affect Governor Warren's willingness to do business with us.
Excellent. How about some music to pass the time?
Oh, Christ. Not another of your music lessons.
Life isn't all about contracts and journal publication, Shane. You've got to learn to savour the finer things.
Commander Yates, there's another merchant ship requesting permission to dock.
Wave them through, Lieutenant. Hell, Shane and Darrow get to explore a new world and we get stuck with traffic control.
If it's any consolation, I don't think you're missing much. The place looks like a dive, even from all the way up here.
True. It's planets like Ika Roa that remind me why I decided to become a bridge officer in the first place.
This is Shuttle Alpha to Entemidor, coming into land.
I read you, Shane. You are cleared to proceed to Shuttle Bay 1.
Thank you, Megan. Much appreciated. McFadden out.
Megan, I was wondering if you wanted to have dinner later?
Sorry, Isaac. I already have plans.
With Commander McFadden, I presume.
Yeah, Shane promised me an off-the-record trip to the planet's surface.
Right. I better get down to Shuttle Bay to meet Darrow. You have the bridge, Lieutenant.
Jazz! You know I hate jazz! How could you make me listen to jazz for the whole damn trip?
Hendrix isn't jazz, Shane. I can't help it if you're not cultured enough to... What the hell happened to my shuttle bay?
Captain,
Mr. Yates, what have you done to my lovely, orderly, empty shuttle bay?
It's the merchant guilds. They've completely swamped us in the last couple of hours.
And merchants can't park straight.
Landing control has been inundated. All 4 shuttle bays are beyond safe capacity.
The vultures don't hang about, do they?
Maybe a member of the survey team leaked information about the Asphora deposits on the planet's surface. That stuff's a few thousand personal fortunes just waiting to be harvested.
Oh, great. Prospectors.
They're demanding planetary landing rights.
Already? We've only just arrived. Right, Mr. McFadden, that permanent base of operations you were planning, I want it set up within the next 24 hours. We need infrastructure on the planet's surface. Mr. Yates, once the base is established, you can start selling landing permits and coordinating shuttle runs. I want all shuttles searched for drilling equipment. There's to be no mining until we've cleared it with the locals.
Yes, Captain. Understood.
And Shane, as soon as you've set up camp, I want full customs checks in place, a proper communications network up and running, and a system for allocating trade quotas.
Sounds like we've got a busy week ahead of us. Oh, Commander Yates, will you tell Megan I won't be able to make it later?
Gladly.
Thank you, Isaac. No rest for the wicked, hey?
Kara, you've got to stop fighting me on this.
They are invading my planet.
They're peaceful traders here for our benefit.
For your benefit, Governor Warren, my people have no need of their trinkets.
A week ago you thought they were the pure from Earth. You're falling over Captain Darrow, invited him to your little ritual. You people change your minds so quickly. How the bloody hell am I supposed to keep up?
I have nothing against their Captain Darrow. He's a noble leader, and his Shane is at least tolerable. It's these newcomers who've begun settling on Ika Roa, vagrants from 1,000 worlds.
Look, in one way or another, the traders are here to stay. As soon as you accept that fact, we can start to devise a mutual strategy for dealing with...
You want a mutual strategy, Warren? Shall we begin with the understanding that you will consult me on any future deals you make with the traders?
Fine. But in return, Kara, you need to be realistic and consider the needs of my people. You need to stop kicking up a fuss every time a trader so much as glances in the general direction of your compound.
Very well, then. It seems we have an understanding.
Or the beginnings of one. You know, I hate politics. My original campaign slogan was "Don't let the bastard politicians back in City Hall." It was the first election promise that I broke. And it certainly wasn't the last.
I remind you that we are yet to make the arrangements to try the boy who defiled my daughter.
Hold on, I need a drink. I suppose I can interest you in a well-aged scotch.
I don't consume your intoxicating poisons, you know that, Warren.
Nonsense. You've just forgotten how to enjoy yourself. Remember when we...
Governor Warren, I'm so sorry to intrude, but we have a situation.
This isn't another photocopier jam, is it, Gregson? I might be the only qualified engineer in this place, but I'm also the bloody governor, you know.
No, it's a real situation. There's a problem at the power station.
I'll be right there. I'm sorry, Kara. One of my aides will see you out.
Welcome back, my Kara. How were the negotiations?
They went as well as can be expected. I managed to convince Governor Warren to consult us before signing any further deals with the traders.
What concerns me most is the new settlements they're constructing on the borders of our land.
I passed on your concerns, but we will have to be patient.
The council will demand that you...
Mother, I see you've deigned to return to us.
Dias, would you leave us, please?
Of course.
So, you wonder as you please why I'm kept imprisoned in my quarters?
Your rebirthing ceremony was interrupted. You must observe the appropriate period of cleansing.
I've been stuck in here for a week!
I know, Amala, but you must be patient. When you are Kara, you will be free to do as you please.
On the 4th day, he set up an immigration service. On the 5th day, he commenced mining negotiations with the locals. On the 6th day, he finally got the communications network up and running. And on the 7th day, he rested.
So, does that mean I can have the day off, sir?
No, Josh. It means we have time to do a bit of DIY. We're going to spruce up this place. It's supposed to be the Ika Roa base of operations for the Extrasolar Trading Association. Yet it just looks like 2 storage containers welded together with desks and tables thrown in as an afterthought.
Sir, it is 2 storage containers welded together. And we made the desks and tables from smaller storage containers.
All the more reason for a lick of wallpaper paste and the erection of some sturdy shelving. Get that, will you, Josh? Tell whoever it is that office hours are from 8 till 6.
Yes, sir.
Are you McFadgen?
Excuse me, miss. We're closed at the moment. If you want to make an appointment...
I said, are you McFadgen?
Call me Shane. And, you are?
Sophie Franks, your new Chief of Security.
I'm afraid not. I have ultimate jurisdiction over the Estes Security Force in Ika Roa, and I think I would have noticed if I'd hired a head-turning young brunette.
There is no Estes Security Force in Ika Roa.
Ah, yes. That. The Marine Commander and I have differing views over how planetary security should be run. I feel more comfortable if he keeps his thugs on the Antemidor.
Exactly. The Estes security model is a joke. Marines trained for space combat with no experience of urban policing.
Let me guess. You're selling private security.
I am private security. I have 70 officers working under me, all highly trained with state-of-the-art weapons and equipment. Protecting trade operations on pioneer worlds is our speciality.
You, Miss Franks, are head of a 70-strong private security force. Somehow you don't seem like the type.
Because I'm a girl?
No, because you've refrained from shaving your head, getting tattoos, or accumulating any visible battle scars.
Oh, I have scars. Do you want to see my scars?
Miss Franks, please! Although I have no personal objection to you lifting your top in front of me, I fear you may embarrass my assistant.
Admit it. You're not hiring me because you're a capitalist chauvinist son of a bitch.
Actually, I'm sorely tempted to hire you precisely because I am a capitalist chauvinist son of a bitch. Sadly, my budget for the next 6 months is entirely spent. Are you willing to work for free?
Fine. I'll take my business elsewhere. In the last month, 4 new trading posts have been established by Esther, and 6 by the OPC, so I have no shortage of potential clients right now. Here's my business card in case you realise what you're missing. I'll wait a day or 2 before moving on.
As long as you have a valid short-stay permit, that's fine with me, Miss Franks.
Oh, and when you come grovelling to me for urgent assistance in the next few hours, call me Sophie.
Any update on the state of the reactor, Gregson?
The vault and coolant system seems to be under control, but the technicians have still not been able to locate the cause of the underlying instability.
Bloody slackers. In my day... Ugh! What's the chance of these output fluctuations resulting in a meltdown?
Our expert advisors say the risk is no more than 0.3%.
I don't trust expert advisors to tie their own shoelaces, Gregson. Bloody college graduates with no hands-on experience. What does the reactor's senior technician say?
He says he's very worried. He has his whole team working to resolve the problem.
If Bob Regan's worried, that's all I need to hear. Shut the reactor down, perform a full diagnostic. It's the only sensible solution.
Sir, if we shut down Reactor 1, the city will lose half its power. The transport system will grind to a halt. Industry will come to a standstill. Our agricultural domes will lose heat and we'll be in real trouble.
Right, but if the reactor melts down, the entire city will be bathed in lethal radiation.
But the risk of a meltdown is very low, sir. Shelby and Anderson agree that we can't afford to cause mass panic and disruption at this stage.
Shelby and Anderson agree on something? Very well then. Give the technicians a couple of more hours. In the meantime, I want you to start rerouting power from reactors 2 and 3 to essential systems, so that we can shut down reactor 1 with minimum disruption if we need to.
I'll tell them to get it done, sir. By the way, you have a meeting booked with Shane McFadden in 5 minutes. It's about the mining deal. Do you want me to cancel it?
No. I don't want him thinking anything's wrong.
Aren't we going to ask him for help?
We can't become overly dependent on these people. If Ika Roa is to maintain its autonomy, we have to prove that we're capable of looking after ourselves.
You think the traders are a threat to our autonomy?
I've chastised Kara for her suspicions, but they're not entirely unfounded. These people have technology far in advance of our own.
You think they'll use it to get what they want?
There'll be nothing to stop them, but no. What I fear is that we'll sell ourselves into virtual slavery for the sake of a few shiny gadgets.
I don't believe you'd allow that to happen, Governor. The people trust you. I trust you.
Gregson, that you of all people trust me to lead Ika Roa is frankly no comfort at all.
Amala.
Where is my mother?
She does not wish to be disturbed.
Don't pretend you care about her wishes,
I
Dias.
care about nothing more. Kara has always served the council and her people loyally. I only hope you will do the same.
I will not be beholden to the council.
You think that as Kara you will be able to do whatever you want? You think you'll be able to eschew the voice of the council? Well, know this, child. Your life is forfeit to us.
Captain Darrow.
Kara, I hope I'm not...
No, I've been expecting you to contact me. I must say you've taken your time.
Well, I was waiting for Shane to get a proper communications network up and running. You see, he's only just set up the ground relay to boost orbital signals, so...
I had the distinct impression you were avoiding me.
No, of course not. I mean, well, I've been busy on the ship with all these new merchants, and to be honest, I'm still embarrassed about the incident with the knife.
Don't trouble yourself. I was able to assure the council that no lasting damage had been done. Proceedings were delayed, yes, but Amala's rebirthing ceremony is to go ahead tomorrow. In private this time.
You've been very understanding in all this, Kara.
In retrospect, I find the entire incident somewhat amusing. I wish to thank you for the memorable expression on Dias's face.
Yes. Anyhow, I've prepared a gift for your people by way of apology.
A gift?
A collection of livestock from various worlds. I had to do a fair bit of bartering. Some of the breeds are quite rare.
My people don't eat meat, nor make use of animal products.
Ah, I see. I'll, have the shipment cancelled then, shall I?
No need. Their blood will serve a purpose.
Blood? Is this for some kind of, ritual?
No, Captain Darrow, I speak figuratively, of course.
You have a figurative purpose for animal blood?
No, we have a purpose for the figurative blood of animals.
I'm not quite sure I grasp the distinction, but I don't wish to pry. A gift is a gift. I should let you get back to more important matters, Kara, unless there's anything else.
Yes, there is something else. I think we should chat.
Chat?
I've observed that among Warren's people, occasional frivolous discourse helps to build trust and put the other person at ease. Shane informs me that it's the same with your people.
Yes, right. But where shall we start?
Shane has offered some guidance on the matter. He suggests the weather as a conventional starting point.
The weather?
Yes. How is it where you are?
I'm in space. There's a distinct lack of weather.
Of course, a foolish question. Just Shane to be so simple-minded. I'm a little out of practice at this. Perhaps you should choose the topic.
Okay. Are you married, Kara?
Married?
Well, not that you have to answer that, but I never asked you directly, and, well...
As I've told you before, my people do not believe in copulation.
Yes, so you said. I just thought that, well, it doesn't necessarily mean...
Mother?
I must go now, Captain Darrow. Perhaps we'll talk again soon?
Yes. Yeah, that would be great. Goodbye, Kara.
You were talking to the trader, Captain?
Darrow and I had important business to discuss.
What I heard did not sound like business.
Well, it was certainly no business of yours.
That man attacked me, humiliated me in front of everyone.
Marla, how many times must I repeat this? It was all a misunderstanding.
Why do you insist on defending him? Why are you never on my side?
How can you say that after all I've done to protect you?
Protect me from what? I go nowhere, experience nothing, and yet you expect me to be content? I'm tired of your hypocrisy, Mother. I'm tired of this life.
When you are Kara.
No, Don't you get it? I can't stand the thought of becoming like you. Nothing but a puppet of the council. I've made up my mind. I'm going back to the city.
Amala! If Dias finds out...
There you go again! Using Dias to excuse your actions. If you don't want me to go, then have the courage to say it yourself.
Very well. I forbid you to return to the city.
You actually think I'm going to listen to you? I just wanted you to say it.
I'll call the guards.
Then call them. Force me to stay. Force me to be your heir, if that's all I mean to you.
You're not fit to be my heir, or my daughter. Go. I'll not stop you, but neither shall I make excuses for you. You face the wrath of the council alone.
Shane, it's good to see you again. Things have really accelerated since our last meeting. Can I interest you in a well-aged scotch?
Please.
At last, somebody with a modicum of taste.
Well, I don't care much for art, music or literature. Relics from the days when people had too much time on their hands, in my opinion. But I know how to appreciate alcohol.
Man after my own art. Shall we get straight to the mining contract?
Last time we spoke, you were prepared to allow us to excavate 500 cubes of Asphora per annum in exchange for 50% of the proceeds, paid in tangible goods.
Which seems like a fair deal to me. 500 cubes will cause minimal disruption to the environment.
The problem is, Governor, I've talked to the company executives and they're not happy. For it to be worth us investing in the infrastructure, we need to be able to excavate 10 times that much.
Our expert advisors have looked at your proposals. They say the amount of toxic dust released into the atmosphere would be, I can quote you from the report, extremely hazardous to the health of Ika Roa citizens.
And you always trust your expert advisors? I'm sure they believe what they're telling you, but they don't understand the technological advances that have been made in this area.
No offence, Shane, but I'm a technician by trade, and I'm not comfortable letting a bunch of faceless bureaucrats loose on my planet with heavy mining equipment. It's a bad combination.
I see where you're coming from, Warren. Look, what if we make it that I have to personally vet all mining permits that the company hands out? I'm not some out-of-touch academic or corporate pen pusher. I'm a reasonable guy you can talk with and hold to account.
You'll make the final call, not the company?
Yes, technically the rights will be in my name, with Esther as the name recipient. That way the company bureaucrats can't screw you using some legal loophole.
And you'd stand to make a tidy personal profit, no doubt.
Naturally, I'm a businessman, Governor. I make no secret of that.
Well, it's an interesting proposition, Shane, that's for sure. Let me talk it over with Anderson and Shelby, see what they make of it.
I'll have a new draft of the contract written up and sent to your office. Once it's signed, I'll talk to the Apothecaries Guild and arrange for that sample of disorder medication to be shipped.
The treatment you've developed is just palliative, right? Just relieves the symptoms of the condition rather than allowing you to live longer.
Ironic, isn't it? We can fold the space between stars, but the only way to beat the disorder is to die of something more civilized first.
You still have no idea what causes the disorder, then?
The most widely accepted theory is that it's some sort of undetectable nanovirus, perhaps of extraterrestrial origin. However, it's also long been thought that genetics plays a major role. According to one recent hypothesis, there is no single pathogen or genetic defect to be identified. Rather, the disorder is a number of seemingly innocuous microorganisms and environmental factors coming together in a lethal combination.
So you're saying that the best scientists in the galaxy basically think it's a mysterious invisible plague from outer space?
In a nutshell. But I'm confident we'll beat the thing eventually, whatever it is.
It's too late for me in any case.
You're, what, 41? 42? With the proper treatment, you still have several more enjoyable years ahead of you. The meds don't extend life, but they sure as hell improve the quality of it, especially towards the end.
And I suppose you'll tell me this half-empty glass of whiskey is in fact half full.
I make no apologies for being a zealous optimist, if that's the charge. It occurs to me to ask the, first people, as they call themselves. I've not noticed them exhibit any obvious symptoms of the disorder.
Exhibit is the operative word. I think it's taboo in their culture. There are well-documented cases from a few years after my people first arrived on Ika Roa of infected primitives being left to die in the wilderness by their own people. Thankfully, they seem to have put a stop to this vulgar practice, though rumour has it they still euthanise anyone who starts showing advanced symptoms. It's certainly rare to meet one of their people aged more than about 35. Kara's the exception rather than the rule in that respect.
There have been reports of other groups who left Earth before the Exodus. Each of these groups has reported suffering symptoms for just a few generations, since having dealings with colonists from the Exodus, which supports the virus theory in my view.
You mean that my people are perhaps guilty, historically, of infecting Kara's people? Seems they don't call us the impure for nothing.
It's an unsettling thought, I agree. But that said, it's unlikely they would have survived on Ika Roa this long on their own. Life on the colonies requires a regular influx of new science and technology. It's the principle Esther is founded on.
I will remind you that we've been self-sufficient for a bloody long time out here. We're capable of solving our own problems.
I understand that perfectly, Governor. Esther fully respects Ika Roa's status as an independent world.
So you keep assuring.
Governor Warren! Governor Warren! Governor Warren!
Haven't you heard of knocking, Gregson?
Sir, the, situation. You know, the situation about the thing you don't want me to mention, Shane? It's just gotten a whole lot worse.
What situation?
I believe all our important business has been concluded, Mr. McFadden. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to.
Just remember, if you ever need anything...
I'll be sure to let you know. Right, get me up to speed, Gregson.
The situation's turned critical. Fluctuations in the reactor's output have increased exponentially. Meltdown probability is now 53%.
We need to shut down the reactor immediately.
But we can't, sir. It's too late. The fail-safes have, well, they've failed, and we can't stop the reaction.
Damn it, Gregson. I should have been told before the reactor reached threshold.
I'm sorry, I just received the call.
I'm going down there.
It's too dangerous.
If that reactor goes, half the city's going to be blown to hell.
The technicians can handle it, sir. Your place is in the situation room. We need to coordinate an evacuation.
I was chief technician on Reactor 1 for 8 years. There's no one who knows her like me.
But...
No, call my driver. I'm going down there. And call the deputy governor. He can coordinate the evacuation.
Sir, the deputy governor's undergoing major heart surgery.
What? Again? How many heart attacks does that guy have? Fine. Gregson, you have command of the situation room.
Me? But I don't have the authority to authorise emergency procedures.
Then get Shelby or Anderson up here. I want this under control.
Sir, your car's ready. Good luck, sir.
Just don't screw up, Gregson.
I would like to buy a ticket, please.
Where to?
To where the traders are.
Well, I think the closest stop to the landing site is Lower Square. $3.
Here.
You know, you look a lot like one of them primitives. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Don't see many folks like that walking around Ika Roa.
I can't help what I look like.
So you're saying it's just a strange coincidence, huh?
No, not really. It's genetics.
Whatever. Here's your change.
Move it, people! The systems are critical! She's gonna blow, so everybody out!
What's the situation here, Bob?
I said everybody out. That includes it. Dave, Warren, what the bloody hell are you doing here?
I've got to patch up this reactor before she blows her primary systems.
It's not safe down here!
I've replaced so many parts of this reactor, I must have rebuilt it from scratch twice by now, and I'm not going to let the temperamental old thing blow up my city. Now, have you tried venting the auxiliary coolant exchange?
That was the first thing I did!
What about rerouting the primary coolant fluid through the secondary exchange?
Dave, that's a stupid idea. It'll just end up blowing the secondary systems, and what's to stop the primaries from blowing straight after?
Before the secondary blows, there'll be a 3-second window where reaction levels will drop low enough for an emergency shutdown.
Automatics couldn't handle that kind of precision, David. Somebody
would have to do it manually.
It's a two-man job. Someone needs to regulate the coolant transfer.
Then it's just as well I came down here, isn't it? You start the transfer, I'll go...
No way. You start the transfer, I'll initiate the shutdown. I'm not letting you near that core, David.
I'm the most qualified.
Bollocks to that, Dave. I've been chief technician almost as long as you were. I'm not your trainee anymore, and I'm not sending the governor of Ika Roa into bleeding reactor core.
All right, Bob. I'll start the transfer. We'll keep in touch by intercom.
You be careful with my baby, David. If you blow her up, I'll kill you.
She's in safe hands.
Excuse me. Is this seat taken?
No, it's... Hey! You're that primitive whore who nearly got Devon Smith executed!
I think you're mistaken. I'll find somewhere else.
Come back here! Who the hell do you think you are, showing your face in our city?
Get your hands off me!
Ah! You've broken my finger!
Do you want me to break your arm too?
Primitive freak! Leave me alone!
With pleasure.
What was that? Anderson, what was that?
Shut up, Gregson. Shelby, what was that? That was Reactor 1's secondary coolant systems blowing.
We felt that from here?
If that had been the primary systems blowing, well, we'd have felt nothing. Meltdown. We'd be nothing but vapours and shadows on the wall at this range.
But what about radiation? Will there be any radiation?
No doubt the explosion will have caused semi-depleted fuel to spew into the atmosphere in the immediate environment.
Does that mean yes?
He's exaggerating. There'll be some radiation, but not on the scale of a meltdown. It can be contained.
But we've already evacuated the area, right?
We were in the process.
In the process? You mean people were still...
Well, yes, I suppose there will have been some people caught in the radiation cloud.
Handling the evacuation was our one job. Warren explicitly told us... Wait, where is Warren? Is he still...
Good God, he's right. He must have been in the reactor control room when the thing blew.
Is there any chance he survived?
The control room is heavily shielded, but if I were a betting man... Well, I am a betting man, and I don't like his odds.
Governor Warren's dead?
And we're in charge. Shelby, we haven't got the resources to deal with a disaster of this magnitude. We need to go to Esther for help. If we go grovelling to the traders in this pitiful state, we'll lose all our bargaining chips. They'll walk right over us. Saving lives is more important right now. I'm calling Shane. You don't have the authority. The Constitution clearly states that the Speaker of the House wields executive power in the absence of the Governor and his deputy, which means it's up to me to call the shots. But, by convention, the Speaker, as a non-partisan figure, always delegates power to the majority leader. So you have to step aside and let me take charge. There's no way I'm delegating to you, a man who's openly taking campaign contributions from the traders. I'm sticking to the letter of the law. All the way to the High Court if I have to. Are you saying you're prepared to drag this through the courts while people are dying of radiation sickness? I'm saying you should back the hell down and do as I say before—
Will you two stop arguing? This is a crisis!
Shut up, Gregson!
The reactor? Christ, I knew Warren was hiding something, but this?
I need you to sort this out, McFadden. Survey team's got a good look at the area and it's a mess. Warren's people aren't cut out to deal with this kind of situation.
I'll try my best, Darrow, but unless we're explicitly asked to intervene—
Damn it, Shane. Gascoigne's arriving any day now. If he finds things like this, both our jobs will be on the line.
I know, but—
Shane.
Excuse me a moment, Darrow. What is it, Josh?
I've got Mr. Gregson on the other line. I'm not sure, but I think he's saying the Governor's in a reactor.
He's in the reactor? So who the hell's in charge?
I have no idea. Maybe Gregson.
Whoa, okay. Darrow, I know you're my boss and everything, but I'm gonna have to put you on hold. Josh, put the call through. Gregson?
Shane! At last!
We know about the reactor. If you told us you were having trouble—
Nobody knows who's in charge here, Shane. We can't get through to Warren. Shelby and Anderson are at each other's throats, and I'm not even supposed to be calling you. But if you don't do something fast—
What do you need, Gregson?
A rescue team and cleanup crew with proper radiation suits. We've only got a handful of men fully equipped for this kind of thing.
We're just getting established down here, but I'll do whatever I can.
Oh, thank you, Shane. Oh, thank you so much.
Remember, if this kind of thing ever happens again, your first call is to me. Josh, get me Marine Commander Fletcher.
Yes, sir. Putting you through.
What is it, McFadden?
Fletcher, I need your Marines down here on the double.
We'd already be on the ground if you and Darrow would let me deploy a proper security force. Instead, you keep us stuck up here in this tin can where we can't do a damn thing.
If you hadn't been so trigger-happy last time—
Yes, you grounded us like naughty children. But now you're in a spot of trouble, you're expecting my Marines to come to your rescue.
There's been an incident involving a reactor. Multiple civilian casualties. I need all units scrambled. Your team will need full radiation suits, containment gear and cleanup kits.
No can do. We're contracted to protect Esther property and non-expendable personnel only, not to get involved in local affairs.
People are dying, Fletcher!
You know, McFadden, you blame me and my men for what happened last time, but if you hadn't ordered us to get involved in that petty local dispute—
We have to act now, or there will be hundreds of casualties, maybe thousands!
What do you care? Everybody knows we're only here for cheap labour and valuable rocks.
This is an order!
Sorry, but you're asking us to breach the terms of our contract. Marine Armoured Services is a chartered franchise, just like Esther. We're not your private army, McFadden.
My private arm— Josh, cut transmission. Put Gregson back on the line.
Shane, what is it? Is there some sort of problem?
Bad news, Gregson. I'm paralysed. Stabbed in the back might be a more accurate metaphor. Hell, Gregson, I want to help, but—
But you can't?
Yes, that's right. Some stupid thing about money.
Money? I don't understand.
I know how this sounds, Gregson. Like I'm blackmailing you or holding dying people to ransom. But money gets things done. I need you to get Anderson and Shelby to sign the new mining contract I drafted. Can you do that, Gregson?
There's no other way?
I can't do anything until it's signed.
Shelby will take some convincing, but I think even I can make him see the political consequences of refusing to save hundreds of lives.
I'll be waiting for your call, Gregson. Josh, get me Sophie Franks' numbers on that card.
I'm connecting you now.
Shane, you caught me in the shower.
Sophie, that's a nice towel you're not really wearing. Look, after a long and heated debate with my ego, it turns out I need to take you up on your offer. Right now.
As far as I recall, you don't even have the money to pay me.
Do your people have radiation gear? Are you equipped for planetary disaster relief?
Shane, that's what I've been trying to explain. We're not your standard Marine squadron. We're specially trained for exactly this kind of situation.
You already know what the situation is?
The reactor, obviously. Just say the word, my people will be deployed immediately. Now, do you have the money or not?
Shane, I've got Gregson on the other line.
Hold that thought, Sophie. Josh, has he got the contract signed?
It's been signed.
Okay, Sophie, as it happens, I do have the money, so you're hired.
Thanks, Shane. You're still a capitalist chauvinist son of a bitch, but I think I'm going to enjoy working with you.
Sir, Captain Darrow's still on the other line. He wants to know if...
Tell him I sold everything, and got a new security force, and a tidy profit to boot. Hell, ancient deities are queuing up as we speak to adopt me as their incarnate son.
I'm sure the Captain will be interested to hear that, sir.
Bob! Can you hear me, Bob? It's Dave. David Warren. You did it. Secondary systems are blown to hell, but we've vented enough reactant to prevent a meltdown. You start the shutdown just in time. Are we amazing or what? Yeah, the iron girder crushing my legs is a bit painful, but I'm losing feeling in them, so that won't bother me long. Bob! Look, there's no need to give me the Sahara treatment. We've been friends for years. Bob!
Excuse me, what's happened? Why have we stopped?
Please, everybody, just calm down. There's been an explosion at the city's main power station. All transport links to the affected areas have been suspended.
An explosion? Are we quite safe here, Sergeant?
Yes, but please keep away from the contaminated zone. We're still in the process of evacuating survivors.
Are there many wounded?
Yes, ma'am, I'm afraid so. Some were injured in the blast, others are severe radiation poisoning. Our medical staff are stretched to the limit. We're trying to rope in volunteers, but not many have come forward.
Please, let me help. My people, I have some medical experience.
Are you sure? You'll be working close to Ground Zero, tending to those awaiting airlift to hospital.
I can do that.
You're a brave girl. Most people can't wait to get out of the contaminated zone. I'll get an officer to show you to the aid station. This place is shot to pieces. There's rubble everywhere.
Schematics say the control center is supposed to have extra reinforcements. Guess there must have been cost cutting.
Any sign of Governor Warren in there, Sophie?
There's smoke everywhere, Shane. My suit visor's filthy. Not seeing much of anything.
Sir, I think I found someone.
Looks like he's alive. Barely conscious, though. Help me move this girder, Darren.
Lie still. Take these pills. Can you remember your name?
I'm the governor of Ika Roa. You can call me David. Where am I?
You're in an emergency medical tent, waiting to be shipped to Southland General Hospital.
Then I save the city.
That's what everyone's saying, yes.
Where's Bob? And is it just me or the nurses getting prettier?
Lie still, please, Governor.
Don't I know you?
I don't think we've met.
Are you sure? What's your name, young lady?
Amelie.
Nurse Amelie, eh? Very pretty. Prettier than Bob. That's not hard. Did you just give me a sedative? That's not playing fair. I saved the city.
I know.
Okay, move it, people. We've got another lifter inbound and the casualties are piling up. I want the critical cases flown out first. Get them on the lifters.
In Ika Roa Episode 2, Amala was played by Joe Brandon, Captain Darrow by Fred Aarons, Dias by Ben Swithin, Governor Warren by Rob Pashley, Gregson by Marcos Avlonitis, Kara by Rachel Avloniti, Lieutenant Megan Fernandez by Katie Godman, Shane McFadden by Luke Smith, Shelby Anderson by Stephen Rowley, Sophie Franks by Natalie Birmickham, Ticket Vendor by Shanti Phillips, and Commander Yates was played by Chris Hall. Other parts were played by members of the cast. Ika Roa was written and produced by Richard Caves and Marcos Avlonitis and directed by Marcos Avlonitis. Sound design was by Sam Lazell. Ika Roa is a RicoMark production for ELFM.